Every day is a new beginning. Shine your light. It's a day and the world is waiting. Move along to the song, singing in your soul. Feel the beat, clap your hands, let's take control. All you need, all you want, are you ready to find your way? 'Cause every day is a new day.
Welcome to Wisconsin Family. I'm Jessa Jeremiah.
And I'm Justin Riley, and we have such a fabulous show for you today. We're here for the first time at Dream House Dream Kitchens over on Verona Road, so we're really excited to be here.
Yeah, absolutely looking forward to a great show.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of great guests. We have a very, very interesting first guest today.
Yeah.
Ariel Juliet from Dance Life Studio and Fitness. She's going to be coming in and not just talking about belly dancing, but she's going to do a belly dance for us.
Show us some skills. Yeah, I can't wait to see that because, you know, I've always been curious about belly dancing, so I'm kind of excited to see what it's all about live and in person.
Yeah, definitely.
And a great way to get some exercise, too.
And anybody can do it.
I guess so.
Yeah.
We'll find out, right?
Yeah.
We'll see how that looks. I'm excited because we're going to talk about another kind of fitness. So for kids, youngsters out there, if you want to perfect your swimming skills, and adults too, we have Little Strokes who's going to join us and chat a little bit about their programs. They have lots of great things going on all summer and through the year, and I can't wait to chat with Bill. So we'll see what that's all about.
Yeah, Bill's a cool guy, and it's such a cool school because he has such a great student-to-teacher ratio that you just can't beat anywhere else.
That's really nice.
And professional swim instructors too, like people who've had competitive swim experience.
Absolutely,
so
especially for the youngsters. I think that's really important to get that individualized attention.
Yeah, absolutely. And at the end of our show today, we're going to be talking with Kevin Schmidt, the owner of Dream House Dream Kitchens. He's going to be giving us some tips on when is a good time to remodel your home and maybe when is a good time to just, move to a different location.
Absolutely. This is such a big topic right now. People are really trying to make their homes, spruce them up a little bit, make them a great place for them to live, and even for resale value. So that'll be a great segment to check out.
Yeah, definitely. So that's all coming up right here on Wisconsin Family. Stay with us.
Hey folks, welcome back to Wisconsin Family. We are all filming here on Verona Road at Dream Kitchens and dreaming up some ideas for our own homes, aren't we,
Yes, I'm going to have great, beautiful dreams tonight, that's for sure.
Absolutely. So we're excited because we're going to chat with the folks of Dream Kitchens a little bit later.
Yep.
First, we are going to talk about fitness and fun. Our first guest has made a career out of providing both of those things, and this is Ariel Juliet, who is the owner of Dance Life Studio and Fitness. I want to make sure I got it all in there. We're so pleased to have you.
Thank you so much for having me out. I'm so glad to be here.
Yeah, and we've got a lot to chat with you about, and I'm very excited because you're going to give us a demonstration later.
I'm excited too.
But first, we're going to pick your brain a little bit. So I haven't done some of these dances. You do everything from like belly dancing to Zumba. Do you need to be skilled in shape? How much money do you need? Talk to us about that.
You know, we really cater to the idea that everyone can dance. So you don't need to be young, fit, or rich to do the dance styles that we do. In fact, so belly dance itself, what we do is a stage performance of what's normally a social dance in Egypt. So in Egypt, every age, every gender, men, women, children, everybody does this style of dance. So we try to bring that to people who have gone to gyms and perhaps feel ridiculed or feel like they're not supposed to be there, they're out of place. That's the kind of people that we like to have at the studio.
I love that. So you really cater to all kinds, but a fun way to get some exercise in.
Yes.
I love it.
And you talked about people like feeling out of place or ridiculed, and I'm sure body image kind of comes along with that as a big factor. So do you think that doing this style of dance can help with body image?
Absolutely. I really do think that it does. I mean, that's certainly the experience that I've had in many of my students. Belly dance gives us a way to relate positively to our bodies. We can say, I may not like every single piece of it, but look at what my body can do.
Right.
Absolutely. And let's talk a little bit about this in your life. So obviously you have been at this a little while, and how has this kind of changed the course of your life or impacted your life as a whole?
Well, it's really inspired me to reach for my dreams. I got a letter from myself that I had written. I had an English teacher that sent them out to us 5 years later, and in there I'd mentioned really wanting to sing or dance and just feeling like, it was a pipe dream. And so it really helped me to say, you know, I can make this a reality, and the healing that I've found through dance, I can bring to others by making this my full-time job.
That's so great. What an inspiration. And what a cool thing to do, have a letter that you write to yourself. I love that idea.
And then be able to read it later on and
Yeah.
actually hold on to that for that long.
fabulous.
That's
Best
very
part
cool.
of that English class, I gotta say.
Yeah, there you go. See?
So I mean, imagine that there are some viewers out there who maybe have thought, oh, maybe I'd like to try this, and maybe some who haven't thought that they want to try this. What would you say to viewers who maybe have wanted to try this and just haven't had the courage, or maybe have never thought of it before?
You know, I would say there's a great quotation about this that says, it's never too late to be what you might have been. And there is no such thing as too old or too anything, too big, too small to belly dance. Just give it a shot. We've got an event coming up on August 1st. It's a great time to take a dip and try out just a little taste. It's called Shimmy in the Grain, or just come drop into one of our classes.
That's so exciting.
Take a dip.
Take a dip.
I like
there you go. And let's talk a little bit about belly dance and if there's varieties or not. I'm not real familiar with belly dance. I'm excited to see you give us a little performance.
Yes.
But is it all the same?
There are so many different styles. There's as many styles as there are countries, and each country has its own social dance and its own stage dance. So you're going to be seeing the stage version of the Egyptian style of dance, which is what I specialize in.
Oh, fabulous.
Obviously,
Looking forward to
you've been doing this for a while now, but you know, how long does it take a beginner to learn how to do this?
You know, our beginners, we have an 8-week fundamental session, and people will see staggering changes in 8 weeks if they commit to doing that series, coming once a week. It's one of those things that newcomers will say to the people who maybe are repeating the session for the second time, like, well, how long have you been doing this? You look so good. It really doesn't take long.
That's fabulous. Well, let's get to it.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see
Wonderful.
some. So let's let you do a little demonstration. Come on up and we'll get going. more Wisconsin family right here at Dream Kitchen.
'Cause every day is a new day.
Welcome back to Wisconsin Family. We are filming on location at Dream House, Dream Kitchens over on Verona Road in Madison, and what a cool place this is.
What a cool place, isn't
We're
it?
Gorgeous.
We're very excited to be talking with the owners later on today. But first, if you're looking for something for your little one to do, look no further than Bill Teagum, owner of Little Strokes Swim Academy. Bill, welcome back.
Yeah,
Hey,
so
thanks for
glad to
having me
have
back.
you. Nice
Yeah,
to see you.
good to have you back. So I know that your place is obviously called Little Strokes, but does that mean that you only teach children?
Yeah, let's talk about that.
The majority of our classes are for kids, but we do have several adults from time to time that come in for lessons, and we have adults ranging from the very beginners who are fearful of the water to the more experienced swimmers who are training for a triathlon and they want to better their time. You know, so many times in a triathlon they have two really good legs, the run and the bike, and then they struggle on the swim, and so that's where we can come in and really help with that. So we do
That's
And
great.
you really have a good staff of professional swimmers who are used to teaching that
Yep.
that level, at that
Yep.
level.
For sure.
Yeah,
Yep.
very
So,
cool.
yeah, all the way from very beginning little ones on up to if you're trying to get into a competition, you'll take care of them, huh?
You got it.
Let's get back to the youth program a little bit for folks out there with youngsters. How is that program structured? How does that kind of work for the little ones?
Well, we kind of divide it up into age groups first. From 6 months to 2 years old, we have the parent-taught classes where the parents get in the water with their little one or grandparents. And then we have the 2 to 4 age group and the 5 and up age group. And within those age groups, we have beginner and swimmer levels. And we keep it vague for a reason, because we can have 3 kids in a class and of 3 very different ability levels. And our instructors, since they are highly trained and super qualified, they can tailor the lesson to what each one of those kids needs. And so you can have 3 different kids working on 3 different things within the same lesson, and it works because of the small classes and the teachers.
And everybody's sort of got their needs and what they excel at and sort of their shortcomings. So it's really nice that you tailor that to each individual rather than just kind of doing
Yep.
a cluster of activities.
Yep.
And you're really able to do that because you've got such a great student-to-teacher ratio. I mean, it's very, very personalized, very individualized. So that's,
No, it really helps. And then we have one more level, and that's the stroke development class, which is for swim team members or kids considering swim team. And that's just for further refinement of their strokes, and we do some turn work and underwater work and that kind of stuff, the polishing, the final touches, really.
So obviously it's summer vacation right now, and I mean, do you ever have folks that ask about other swimming or water activities that you do for summer vacation that are specific to summer?
Yeah, occasionally we have, actually had a grandparent a couple weeks ago bring in their child or their grandkids' new snorkel and fins, and they came in and they said, hey, can you get them used to this, because we're going to be going to Maui and we want to go snorkeling, and this is going to be a new experience for them, and so we got them kind of acclimated to their new apparatus.
That's great.
And
but to be able to do that in like a controlled environment, I think that's wonderful.
yeah,
Like,
definitely. I mean, they can go underwater, come back up, clear the snorkel out, get used to that. Because I mean, when you get a mouthful of salt water, it's a very different experience than getting a mouthful of cool water, which is a little bit easier to take.
Yeah, baby steps, right?
Yep.
Ease them in.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then last fall we had something new come up. We had a Daisy Troop approach us, a Girl Scout Daisy Troop, and they came in for a water safety day, and that was awesome. We
nice.
actually brought a small boat into the pool. We capsized the boat, had them work as a team to get back onto the boat. And we did some general life-saving skills that they can do without being professional lifesavers yet. And then we also had we also had them do some first aid skills, some splinting and some applying direct pressure to a wound and that kind of stuff. Of course, considering that since they're amateurs at this, they can't get too involved with blood, but we give them.
We don't want to have
gave
real
them
life
that background.
demonstrations with
Right.
blood.
Yep.
No, but that's
So-
important. That's a great life skill, and being able to learn some of those skills in the water, because sometimes there could be situations that they might be in down the road where those skills are going to come in handy, and they'll think back to that experience. I think that's
it was a
great.
lot of fun too. It was a blast. Everybody got a lot out of it.
A fun way to learn water safety
Yeah.
and other things,
Yeah.
splinting.
Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit about some of your swim sessions. So if folks sign up for the sessions, talk to us a little bit about how they do that and what are the length of the sessions? What does that look like?
Yeah, right now we're in our Summer 2 session, which is our second summer session, obviously. And that's a 6-week course. So Summer 1 was 6 weeks. Fall 1 and Fall 2 are both 7-weekers, and then Winter and Spring are both 10-weekers. We keep these sessions fairly short so that it's not such an overwhelming commitment. I mean, we're not saying you have to sign up for 6 months at a time or something like that, which is kind of overwhelming for some families. So keeping it short and sweet is definitely to our advantage. It keeps it fresh, keeps it exciting for the kids. They're doing something different each time, and it's a lot of fun.
Well, I think that's nice for parents to know that, because then they can kind of give it a try, little by little, see how it goes.
And speaking of keeping it fresh, oftentimes, when parents and families do have vacations planned, they'll take a break a little bit from lessons. Do you find that kids will forget their skills or will need like a refresher course when they come back?
That's a good question.
Yeah. With the young ones, retention is an issue. So we like to keep them more consistent with their lessons. A 1 session break, if it's only a 6 weeks break, isn't that long of a break, and so they will generally remember after a short session break. That's also another reason for the for these shorter sessions so that they can take a little break every once in a while and not regress too much.
Absolutely.
With the older swimmers, they can retain it a little bit longer. We have some older swimmers that just come by summertime only, and so they go
polish
to
up their
school
skills.
year
Yeah.
at school and doing other activities, and then they come back and do the swim lessons just summers, and they gain from that. And so
That's
it's
wonderful. I
kinda
like
for
that you have the
everybody, so.
shorter sessions. I think that's wonderful.
Yeah.
That's great.
Bill Teagham, owner of Little Strokes Swim Academy, thank you so much for joining us
Thanks,
today.
Bill.
Thank you.
Don't go away. When we come back, we'll be talking with Kevin, the owner of Dream House by Dream Kitchens. It's Wisconsin Family on CW57.
'Cause every day is a new day.
Hey folks, welcome back to Wisconsin Family, and we are so excited to be here at Dream House Dream Kitchens on Verona Road.
We are. This is the segment we've been leading up to.
Absolutely, and for those of you at home, I've now quit the job at the CW and I now work at Dream House Dream Kitchens,
You've
so
been
this is my
hired.
new job.
Big
It's such a cool
mistake.
place. Right. So we're joined now by owner Kevin Schmidt. Kevin, thanks so much for having us here today.
Well, thank you for bringing us on today.
Yeah. So
Very glad to have you.
I just have so many questions that I want to ask you. You know, I've been a homeowner. I'm my second home now, and you know, we always, my wife and I, with our first home, we owned a much older home, and we talked a lot about like things that we wanted to do with remodeling and things like that. And then we got some advice from other folks that said, you know, I don't know if it'd be worth it for you to spend the money to remodel. Talk to us a little bit about whether, you know, it's good to remodel or better just to buy a new home.
Start over.
Yeah, there are a lot of different ways to look at it. First and foremost is if you're really happy with your neighborhood and you want to stay.
Yeah.
And that's typically the kids have formed relationships and you have schools and things like that. You may not want to move. The second thing that we really look at is, does the house fit what you want it to be after the remodel?
Sure.
Sometimes there are more kids coming and the house just isn't going to do it.
Right.
And you need to move on.
Right.
Sometimes there's a job transfer. There are a lot of ways that we look at the project and say, hey, how long do you want to be here? If you want to be in the home the next 5 to 10 years, that's great because you can recoup your investment, and that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Even if you're selling down the road, that remodel is going to help you out big time when it comes to that sale.
And one of the things that I've thought about, and you know, my wife and I had a chance to look at a lot of homes when we were looking to purchase, and you could kind of tell the people who were maybe ill-advised when they did their home remodels or when they put an addition on, because they'd have like, it'd be an old Victorian home, and then they'd have this addition that was kind of like more
Not
modern,
matched. Right,
and it
right,
totally
right.
didn't match.
A mismatch.
So I imagine that's something that you have to kind of give advice on, and that you try to kind of guide people to, you know, what they should be doing if they're going to add an addition, for an example.
Yeah, if they're going to do an addition, I think the first thing is that you want to be thematic with the home.
Right.
That it should look not like an addition.
Right.
It should look like it was always there.
Right.
And we try and do that with the client, and at the same time, you got to handle what the client wants in the remodel.
Sure.
So there is an exterior view that needs to be looked at, and then there's also the interior side as well.
Right.
Absolutely. And let's talk a little bit about when you get into this remodeling process. Do you have kind of a rule of thumb about how much you should be spending?
I think the first thing we do when we drive to the home is we look at the neighborhood and we say, okay, what's the average value of the surrounding neighborhood? What's the value of the house we're looking at? And how much money can you spend on the house before you become the most expensive house on the block?
Right.
Right.
And that's really important, especially if you're thinking that you're going to leave in 5 to 10 years.
Right.
So that's the first thing, it's the drive-in.
That's really smart because you don't want to over-invest and then not be able to recoup some of those costs if you eventually leave.
Right.
Yeah. And it's something to think about. Absolutely.
And so it's I'm guessing from what you said, it's not a good idea to be the most expensive house on the block if you can help it.
Well, there are a couple of ways to look at that
Okay.
too. First of all, a lot of the people that we do the remodels for, it's probably their last remodel.
Okay.
They might be looking to retire.
Sure.
And so they're trying to make things good and set up for a retirement. And sometimes you have to look past the money and say, hey, how do I want to spend the next 10 years? How much do I want to enjoy my home? If I'm going to be here, do I want to put in a professional kitchen, or do I want to do a master bath suite?
Right.
And financially, they can afford it. if you look around the neighborhood, it might not make any sense,
Sure.
but it's going to be a great next 10 years.
Sure.
Yeah, it depends
Yeah.
on your motivation for doing
Right.
the remodel. If you're doing it specifically for yourself and just that comfort of living, do what you want,
Yeah.
right?
Right. Well,
Put in as
there's a
much
lot of
money as
truth
you
to
like.
that. Right.
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
So, obviously, you are a little biased by being part of Dream House, Dream Kitchens, but, how does somebody, what are some things that people need to be looking for, or questions they need to be asking when they're searching for a contractor
Yeah.
to do these jobs?
How do you pick? There's so
Yeah.
many people out there.
Right. I think the biggest thing is you need to work with somebody that you're comfortable with. And I think number one is to develop the relationship. No matter how big or how small the project is, it's a lot of money to that client. And you need to
Absolutely.
respect that money.
Yeah.
And so the first thing is you look at it and you say, okay, who is going to do the best with my money? And really the money comes up first because as a designer, I have no idea what you can afford. And so I need to know that so that I don't just shoot a design dart into the air.
Right.
If I'm going to design for you, I need to know what kind of investment we're going to make so that when I show it and present you with the design, it fits the budget.
Yeah, and
Right.
the smart designs for the right budget. And I want to ask a little bit about, we talked about some examples of things that maybe weren't the best design
Right.
ideas in terms of matching the current style of the home. But why do you think some projects are more successful than others? What makes that happen?
There are a lot of wonderful designers in Madison. There are a lot of wonderful remodelers in Madison. Very, very talented people. And what happens is they might not be on the same page. So what we've developed is the store, the remodeling store, where the designs are done and the remodel's done under one roof. And we're seamless from start to finish, and we carry a lot of continuity to the project. And that way the customer really can get a project that they were looking for.
Absolutely, and working with contractors here in-house that you're familiar with, that you've worked with before,
Right.
that's huge when, start to finish.
So give us a couple of examples about some of the projects that Dream House, Dream Kitchens does.
Oh, we've worked on a lot of projects over the years. We have designed convenience stores. We have done work out at the airport.
So it's not just homes then.
We started
Wow.
in kitchens and baths, and I think that we got pulled in every direction.
Sure.
Sure.
So this week we finished up a condominium downtown that we built. We finished a boathouse on the lake. We are all over, and what's really great is we've grown, we've brought in talent from other areas. So we carry 2 or 3 builders on staff to help us with construction design. We carry an architect to help us with all the structural and things like that. So we're in just a ton of different projects,
Yeah.
and it's made this a really great career. We've been able to grow, and now we're up to 3 stores.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, that speaks to the kind of work that you're doing and the type of service that you're delivering. And you obviously are passionate about what you do. What do you think is one of your favorite things, or why do you like this so much?
Because every customer has their own personality, and so does every project. So it's made it really interesting to work.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's
That's
really
great.
about working with the people for you. That's
Oh, yeah.
That's an authentic
Oh.
response.
Absolutely. It's been very, very rewarding, and I think that we are trying really hard to fill a niche in the industry where the customer can come in and relax, and they can do all their designing, space planning, they can make all their selections, and then follow us through the remodel with them. So
That's awesome.
Outstanding. Well, thank you so much for sharing
Yes.
some of those tips with us. We appreciate it.
Well, thanks
and
for-
for having us. It's been lovely.
it's great. It's great to have you here.
Kevin Schmidt from Dream House, Dream Kitchens, thank you so much again. And that's all the time we have for Wisconsin Family. Please join us next time. We'll see you soon.
Every day is a new beginning. Shine your light. It's a day